by the South to try to pull this thing together, because right now the score is 6-1 in favor of the North, and they've had 6 straight goals. Here the ball moves around in the crease, wide open, and that one beats the goalie Robinson, who has been sensational when he's had a chance. He just hasn't had too many chances. We'll be back to Homewood Field with our continuation of the first quarter. The NILA High School Boys All-Star Game. Lacrosse at its best. 6-1 Viscarando, the only guy to score so far for the South, though. So it looks like John Conley and company, the coaching staff of the South, want him on the field as much as possible.
Yeah, he's a big-time shooter, and they're going to want him in there a lot. He's running with another Maryland kid, Spencer Ford, who's also a good shooter. That should be a potent midfield. We'll have to see if they do something here.
This is Bates from Severna Park on the attack, going against Tim Ireland. And Erland rather does a good job of keeping him out with good body position. Here's Erland again working against John Wynn. Now up top, Scott Regina. Regina with a wrap check defense, beats it, but then the goalie makes a great save.
We've got a penalty coming up here. Slash, looks like it'll be 1 minute. First extra man that we've seen here for the South.
John Keselakis, you can see him make a save. Watch Keselakis make this save on Scott Regina. Goes down nicely. The bounce shot comes out. And with moments to go in, over a couple minutes to go in the first quarter, it's 6-1 the score. The first extra man opportunity for the South. They need one big time.
The South's got a straight 3-3 extra man offense here. Not a whole lot of time to practice anything special, so they're just going to put their shooters out there and see if they can move the ball around quickly and get off a good shot.
Now they run Rob Bates behind. He controlled, looked up top, and the cutter didn't make a complete cut. And that's, I think, where you get in trouble when you start making these cuts. Mitch, you don't have the continuity that you would have if you practiced, so that's where this particular extra man broke down.
Yeah, they might have run through that once or twice last night or early this morning, so not a lot of time to get their timing and coordination down on all of that.
Brock Ripple controlling the ball. Defense by Scott Regina. Now the ball on the ground. Again, Ripple brings it up. Looks for a shot. He's in tight. Watch out. A bounce shot gets it. The defense just waving their sticks. Nobody took his body. So that allowed Brock Ripple to come right through 3 defenders and make the 7th goal of the game against Richard Robinson, who really hasn't had a chance. Look at all the defenders.
Hey, Brock just goes right through the whole team here. Somebody's got to step up there and put him down. That's got to be a physical slide inside there. Can't let a kid just go right through the middle there.
That's the lesson. Somebody's got to put a shoulder into him. A lot of sticks waving. And another one-handed shot, Mitch, gets the bounce past Robinson.
But the key thing there was that Brock just kept moving his feet. He was right through the inside, kept driving to the goal, and when he had the opportunity, put it in.
7-1. The score right now with the first quarter winding down. First goal of the game, scored by Viscarando. 7 straight goals for the North to put them comfortably in the lead. The South has not scored a goal in over 11 minutes.
And it looks like the South's a little impatient offensively. When they do get the ball down there, it's a quick shot, not a well-advised shot, and they're turning the ball over, and North is taking it right down the other end again.
And here they go, trying to control it in against Robinson. A hard shot by Andy Lowe Payton. Backed up by Brian King. Oh, I'm sorry, wrong team. Brock Ripple. Brock Ripple now back there. Number 4.
Brock's the kid that just scored and drove hard there, but this time the defense stepped up and put him down on the turf.
Looked a little more physical that time, Mitch.
Yeah, they're going to have to. They can't just come in and wave their sticks at kids of this caliber. They'll blow right by him there and get good shots off.
Well, if you follow the game of lacrosse, you might know the name Whiteley. Mitch Whiteley is the proud father, as well as the coach of Timmy Whiteley, who is sophomore year at University of Virginia, went to the finals this year and lost to Princeton in an overtime game. And your son's doing quite a job down there. He's the guy that really controls the offense. I'm sure you're quite proud, Dad.
Well, proud to have him down there. He's done a good job, along with a couple other kids from St. Paul's. Michael Watson's another attackman that Timmy's played with for a long time, and those kids had a great year. It was very exciting for him, and hopefully they'll have a couple more years like that ahead.
So what a great career you had those years when you had your son and Watson, and they both were ACC Players of the Year and leading now Virginia to national prominence. Here we go with the North in blue. They've got a big lead, and they've lost the ball now on that fast break opportunity. Couldn't pick it up cleanly. Johnson, number 30, got over to the goalie. Offsides is the call on Daniel Hubbard, number 7 red.
State champs out there did a good job of drawing the focus of attention to that side and then dumping the ball off.
Jamie Hanford out there for the North, number 26 with a long stick. Face off, he's been dominant out there, but right now the South can control with Spencer Ford. This team needs to put some shots on goal. Gabe Brown from California, number 32, is in the goal for the North. And I think what the South wants to do here is put some pressure on him. Daniel Huberman, number 7, gives it over to teammate Rob Bates. Bates up front, he can shoot from there. Can he get the shot off? Much better defensive style, Mitch. I think that's one thing you notice. The defense for the North is playing great body position. They're really racking up good checks and keeping body position. And the South does not seem to maintain physical position. They give a lot of stick checks and don't stay in front. Great position there.
Yeah, the North is doing a good job playing with their feet. Really, young players out there should watch and see that these guys don't just sort of wipe back and forth with their stick. They're controlling themselves and playing good position. There was a penalty, however, on that last play, so the South's going to be extra man for a minute here. We'll see if they can do something this time with their EMO play.
They start with a 3-3. All 6 players in front of the goal. Gabe Brown, number 32, in the goal. He'll be tested here. 8-1 the score. North of the big lead. South needs to put one in here. Crawl back into the game. Rotation. Shot from out front. There's Toronto. And they're going to give it to the closest man, which was from the South. They'll have the ball still. Rob Bates. Bates inbounds from behind. He's defensed back there by Frank Kazis. They play the man behind, and now they work him back out front. Bates. Sometime handling it. In an all-star game, do you think, Mitch, that they're going to put special players out here for the EMO, or just have a certain philosophy and let all the guys run it?
Well, all these kids are the kids that were on the extra man team for their high schools. So that's be interesting to see how they run it here. Sometimes you throw in a special group, sometimes just let the kids play. Imagine right now the South's going to do anything they can to try and get a couple goals to get back into this game.
That's this Corona. We just saw he had a big shot there. Here's in close. He takes a bounce shot. Easy shot and a goal by this Corona. Well, he's got the only 2 goals for the South. That one looked like many of the shots for the North, Mitch. He got through a lot of stick checks. Nobody took him out body-wise, and he had a wide-open shot on Gates. Gabe Brown there, and Gabe Brown gets up his first goal of the game. 8-2 the score.
Todd Vizcarrando on that last play did a good job of pulling his stick down and letting the defenseman go right by him, and then he remained poised inside and put the ball right down in the lower corner. A very good shot.
We're in the second quarter. Vizcarrando has been all the offenses. We look at him on the sideline for the South. He scored the first goal of the game. Then 8 straight goals for the North, and Vizcarrando finally answers that offensive push from the North All-Stars.
South doing a little bit better job here on face-offs and getting a little bit more possession time, which is going to be helpful.
Well, early on, the North dominated with Jamie Hanford. And maybe the South can solve that, which will really help the North. Possession now, though, for the North as they try to run up straight up the sideline. Mark Whaling going to readjust his mouthpiece after getting racked up high. Scott Regina working him hard and finally picked up there with the long sticks. Now they're on the run. This is Carl Zeller. Zeller looks for help, finds it with teammate Jesse Hubbard. Hubbard all the way down. Watch the shot in close. A bounce shot and a goal. So Bates put pressure on Gabe Brown and gets goal number 3. Wait, no. Offsides, no goal. They're wiping it off. Does not count. Offsides, but here's how it would look if it counted.
Well, the South here just moves the ball very well. The attackman comes around, rotates high, and keeps his feet moving and fires that shot in.
Ends up with Bates. Bates turns right in the old net. But offsides call. Takes that one off the board. Score still 8-2. Second quarter action from Homewood Field in Baltimore, Maryland.
Yeah, that's too bad. That's just making it tough for the South to come back here. They're just not getting any breaks, and have to see if that changes somewhere along the line here.
Shots. The North leads dramatically 23-13 and make that 24-13. And the 24th shot turns into a goal. 9-2. They continually walk through the defense of the South. And an unassisted goal by Casey Powell.
Well, Casey Powell just did that all himself. He gets the ball here, handles it well off sort of an errant pass. He comes and spins inside and maintains his poise and puts it right up top over the goalie stick.
This kid's got not only great size, but he has some great moves for a kid that size.
Oh, for that size, he's got tremendous quickness, and I'm sure he's going to have a good career up at Syracuse. Coach Roy Simmons has to be happy to get a kid like that coming in.
Number 32.
7-goal lead for the team in blue, and the South now looking to put some pressure on Gabe Brown, the goalie now in the goal for the North squad. He's from California. He'll be tested here, but they couldn't quite pick it up. Rob Bates looking maybe ahead for a shot. Couldn't get it cleanly. Here comes the North. There's the horse, Jamie Hanford, who did a great job facing off. He is a very, very skilled player. Watch in close against the offense. Again on the run. That was Michael Seaman. Or I'm sorry, we take number 9. Who was that? That was Jim Bevilacqua.
Jim Bevilacqua is a kid from Manhasset High School, produced some outstanding attackmen up on Long Island. Jim's going up to Harvard University next year, and he just concentrates on the ball, follows it right inside, and takes his time. Good high fake and puts it in.
He really did, Mitch. He had a great high fake. He got Robinson off his feet, and once you're off your feet, you really don't have anything to say about it. And then he just drops in underneath him.
The attacker's going to try and get the goalie to commit. And that's what Bevilacqua did there. Got him to commit, got him out of position, then put it by him. North continues to dominate on faceoffs here, so when they get the ball back over and over again, that's giving the South fits.
8-goal margin is the lead right now for the North. That's unusual in this all-star kind of game. A lot of talent on both sides, and normally they're getting a lot of goals from both squads. That time, the defensive Christian Cook took the ball right out of the stick. Number 14, Brendan Higgins. Now the ball comes back to Aaron Kelly. Aaron Kelly with the long 6 looks for help. Trying to beat one player inside for a shot. He'll get checked the last moment. Ball taken out of his stick by Mike Corey.
Aaron got caught inside there with a long stick. It makes it tough to maneuver with all his defensemen coming at him.
John Wynn, number 1, gave that ball up to Adam Bond. Was looking to get it back, but Bond got swallowed up by that defense. The North defense continues to be, I think, the most dominant thing in this game. They're playing great position. Their sticks are tremendous, and they're just not giving the South the great shots.
That's been the real difference. The defense of the North has done a great job. Nice play right there from Carl Zeller. The South defense, but overall the North defense has been dominant.
Brian Price picks it up. He'll get a shot in close. A bounce shot finds the rope. And that net will be the 11th goal. 11-2, a 9-goal lead in the second quarter. This is really shocking. Maybe not the 11 goals, but the fact that the answers have not been there. Here he comes, charging in. This is Brian Price.
Brian Price, a kid out of the Rochester area of upstate New York, and he uses his speed right there. Goes right by everybody and takes a good AstroTurf bounce there right up under the top bar, and 11th goal. Looks tough for the South right now.
Well, at the quarter break, we saw Andy Tybel for the South getting some warm-up. He's from Robinson High School, but Richard Robinson stays in the goal from Durham Academy in North Carolina. He's had a lot of shots in his face. He's made a lot of great saves when he gets a chance. That will be a penalty against Hanford. But there'll be a free shot for the South if they can get one off. Ball hits the ground. That means play will stop. Hanford will hit the box for 1 minute. Slash is the call.
It's time now that the South has to do something on this extra man play if they're going to get back into this.
And that check to his head. He tried to get the head of the stick, and he caught him in the back of the helmet.
It looks like Adam Bond there, a kid out of Florida, smart player. The stick came up high, and he flicked his head back a little, and he might have just...
Think maybe a little bit of an Oscar?
Yeah, a little Oscar award there. I think he drew that penalty, and it's a sign of an experienced player.
All right, well, the South needs to get a good shot here on goal. That one does. Great save. Gabe Brown from California comes up with that one. Looks like the South was a little eager. They've have had not many shots, Mitch, and it gets you probably a little more eager than you'd like to be on offense.
Well, I think when you're down by 8 or 9 goals, as they are, that you start to worry about the amount of time in the game. And there's still a lot of time here. They can come back, but they're not going to come back unless they have some patience. And the old cliche is you got to take them one at a time, and until they sort of sit and work things around, it's going to be tough.
Well, the North has had things going pretty well for their offense. They've had 4 goals on 5 shots this quarter.
Once again, though, those shots are all from right inside. When the South defense there is spread out all over the field. They're giving open lanes there for the North players to cut back and forth. And right there, Damien just cuts inside. Shows why he helped lead his team to the Independent School Championship there. Nice play, handles the ball left-handed and just controls it and takes his time and puts it in.
Well, a timeout called on the field right now, 12-2, a 10-goal lead for the North. We'll be back with second quarter action from Homewood Field. Second quarter action from Homewood Field, the NILA High School Boys All-Star Game. 12-2, a commanding and surprising lead for the guys in blue, the team from the North. And they have really beaten everybody except Todd Vizcarrondo. He has 2 goals for the South squad. They have just continually gotten better shots, the North team has, and a lot of shots on the goalie, Richard Robinson. He has played sensational when he's had a chance to make the save. A lot of shots right in his face. Lee Felsmo, Mitch Whiteley. Giving this action on the deuce. These are the best kids in the nation playing Scholastic Lacrosse, and a lot of them are here from California, Seattle, Tennessee, Florida, showing the growth movement of this game. Denver, Ohio. The South now moving the ball around, trying to get some good pressure on the goalie, number 32, Gabe Brown from the Branson School of California. He's in the goal right now. Moving in, trying to get a shot on Brown. They do, and that one finds the mark. Mark Horns from Gilman finally get a good shot on him, and you know, it's not so tough when you get in there and make a good shot.
Have a little patience and work the ball inside. Here, Corns switches over to his left hand, makes a nice move, gets around the defenseman. Get to see it here once again. Takes his time and puts it in.
Kays just made a slide a little bit too late, but they also opened up a little bit of space and opportunity for him, Mitch. We haven't seen that much in this game, and they had a nice little bit of a clear out where he beat the one man, didn't get a big slide, had a chance to get a good shot.
He had a lane to go down, and that's been the problem for the South. They've opened up huge lanes at their defensive end and allowed the North to walk right inside. Here they come again.
Here comes the big face-off man, 26, Jamie Hanford. Whoa, he has been dominant, facing off with the long pole. It's about 6 feet long, but it's light enough and he's strong enough to handle it just like an attack stick, a shorter stick. So 12-3 now the score. The margin goes to 9. A lot of room to make up. The North trying to make it even more. Robinson with a big save. His defenders pick it out right in front of him, and they're trying to push the tempo. Vizcarrondo was the target. He couldn't find it. And slapped at by Kevin McLean.
South trying to push the ball up the field a little bit, trying to increase the tempo, which they're going to have to make up that 9-goal deficit. So we'll see what happens here. Try to break up the clear, a little bit sloppy, but South does come up with the ground ball.
Well, if it wasn't an all-star game, you might think the game would be over, but there'll be plenty of opportunities to score in this one. And there's one right now. Big move by Brian King, who beat the gambling Gabe Brown. Gabe Brown thought he could cut that one down and just missed it coming out of the goal.
Yeah, Gabe took a little bit of a chance there. Sometimes it pays off and you gamble that way, but this time the pass got through and left an open net.
So when you make that big gamble, you better pick up the ball or else that happens. Open net shot, easy score. Brian King gets his first goal, the 4th goal for the South, and the first time today that they've had 2 in a row.
Brian King did a good job of concentrating there and following that ball right past Gabe Brown's stick. Shows why he's one of the leading scorers in the state of Maryland this year.
Face off again, controlled by Hanford. Boy, is he tough to control.
Hanford's a kid that's going to do a post-grad year up at Bridgeton Academy in Maine. Take another year of high school before he goes to college. I'd hate to see him get much bigger, and he gets into college, he's going to be a dominant kid.
Looks like he gets put some time on a football field and do pretty well.
Bridgeton has a great football and lacrosse program up there in Maine. It's a postgraduate school with 175 boys. A number of kids that just need another year for preparation go there to get ready for big-time college athletics.
Well, now the South in red trying to get the ball up in their offensive end. Brian King loses it. North outnumbering the South right now. Here comes the big guy with a bounce shot. That's Hanford. We just talked about him. He is all over the field.
He hustles up and down the field, and for a kid that's 220, 225 pounds, he moves very, very well.
Well, the coach has got the right scouting report on him. They're using him very well. They really haven't seen him on close defense. He's been dominating in the midfield area. And here comes the North offense.
Tony Morgan at De La Salle High School in Michigan there, number 26 for the South, did a good job on defense. South seems to be tightening up a little. North very patient, though.
John Hess looks behind and knocked down beautifully. Defensive check of Christian Cook. Cook now loses position. He'll lose that battle. And watch out, coming around the goal, Damian Prescott. Prescott gets rattled. It'll be a penalty, a shot. That's probably a goal.
I think that they called the hold and the ball went down on the ground so that the North player picked it up. And here, Damian Prescott is going around. The ball bounces, which is going to bring about the official's whistle. And Jake Blumenthal picked it up on the follow-up, but once the ball hits the ground when the flag's down, that ends the play. So here we see him on the hold. The ball hits the ground, and Blumenthal did do a good job there picking it up, but a little bit too late.
If you haven't noticed, the penalty was on the goalie.
Penalty on the goalie. So
Robinson was being very aggressive. He said, "Look, enough of this stuff in my face. I'm going to come out and play you."
Now, in an all-star game like this, I think that what they do is they allow you to take another player off the field instead of having to send a goalie in cold off the bench. That's what they've done here. They've left Robinson in the game and taken out the in-home for the South so that we have the same goalie in the game, even though the penalty was on Robinson.
A little bit of confusion there. Viscarando playing man down. Obviously, they want to get some transition off this unit if they can, but there's a little bit of confusion in the setup. Viscarando should be up top here. They rotate around. Good save by Robinson, and here would be the transition, but they couldn't get it up to Viscarando.
Viscarando does a good job there taking the ball away. I bet is that this is probably the first time that Todd Viscarando has ever played man-down defense in his life. He's an offensively oriented player that's usually at the other end of the field, but we'll see how he does here.
Jim Bevilacqua gets it up top now. The Blue North in much control of this game. And there's another shot and a goal that makes it 13-4. Man, this one is looking too easy for the squad from the North. Well, Blumenthal.
Here, Jake Blumenthal just gets that one back that they took away a couple seconds ago. And just takes a hard, underhanded, right-hand shot. Jake Blumenthal at a Lafayette High School in Missouri adds to his 60-goal total that he had as a senior this year and headed to Washington and Lee University next year.
Hotbeds of lacrosse, Maryland, Long Island, New York area, and of course upstate New York. Those are the three dominant areas. Now this game showing that there's good lacrosse players in Seattle, in Los Angeles, in Denver. Denver's got a ton of high school programs. They are really and a big growth curve.
Denver's got some great athletes, too. I took an all-star team from Maryland out there a couple years ago, and we had our hands full dealing with them. And a lot of the kids from Colorado end up going to college and playing other Division I sports, football and hockey, and so that there's some athletes there that are doing very well.
Don't adjust your sets, folks. That is moisture on your screen. We have our cameras on these booms. We're giving you a different look here on the Deuce of field lacrosse. And this Jimmy Jib boom operation right there gets you down and up in different looks all around. But it's tough to get that lens clean every two or 3 seconds like you can on a static camera. So we'll get on that as quick as we can. Moments ticking down here in the first half. It's still second quarter action. Big 9-goal lead.
South extra man once again.
Well, they really need to get some pressure on number 32, Gabe Brown from California. He's in the goal. The other end of the field has been Richard Robinson, who's gone the whole way. Nice save if they can get it inbounds. No, on the line. Brian King tiptoed the line. Oh, now they're going to call push.
Had a little push call there.
Push call with possession, so that'll send him to the box. Number 24, Frank Kazis.
So the South's going to be extra with 2 men extra this time.
Mitch, you got to get a good shot here, right?
You have to. You got to be patient. And the North's going to box it up here. They got 4 players on their defensive end.
And they'll call a timeout. The South knows that they need to get a good shot here. We'll take a short break when we come back. The closing moments of the second quarter. It's first half action. The team from the North, a 9-goal lead. First half, 13-4. The North leads. They're in blue. The South with a 6-4, a 2-man advantage, 6 men against 4. And they got to get the good shot, Mitch. That's the key thing, and they haven't even gotten one yet. Man coming from the sideline. Now it's 5 players for blue, and they still make life tough for the South. The South has the advantage, and the critical thing here for the third time is that you've got to get a good shot. And Mitch, they didn't even come up with a good shot.
No, they tried to force the ball inside there, and the North defense did a good job of just really packing it in, making things real tight inside.
The South trying to get the ball from the clearing player. A lot of stick checks, no body, and that leaves them wide open. Oh, there's the body. That really makes its mark. Beautifully done. Dennis Foley, number 7, was the guy coming up against.
He's going to have to pick up the intensity at the defensive end and start to put some guys down and not let the North just walk right through there.
This was a good example of that. And finally, he gets leveled by a good defensive check by Steve Johnson. That's another California kid.
Yeah.
Powell High School in California.
5 or 6 kids out here from California.
And that was a great hit. And that's exactly the kind of defense that the South should entertain if they want to get back in this thing. A lot of rain falling, folks. And that ball gets by number 32, or 31 rather, Richard Robinson. No, that's 32 in there now.
Yeah, the South's made a goalie change here in the last couple minutes. They got Andy Tybalt from Robinson High School in Northern Virginia in there, but this case, the North player just makes a strong move to his right, drives right across there, and for you young players watching, the thing that makes that shot very, very tough to defend is that he kept moving his feet and he shot on the run. He didn't plant his feet and try and drive the ball through the goalie.
So Tybalt in the goal now for the South, 14-4 the score. And after scoring 2 goals in a row, the South, the North came back and answered those 2 goals. Cut back any momentum that they might have gotten. Closing moments of the second quarter. We're still in the first half. The NILA Scholastic All-Star Game. Big save by Tybalt. Tybalt from Robinson High School in Virginia. And now the South needs to get a good shot in transition. Brian King gets down low, back up top. That's Adam Bond. Bond over to Scott Regina. Regina asks for it, doesn't get it. Bond still with the ball. Wide open, just a little fake move. Oh, there's an AstroTurf bounce. That one bounced so far in front of the goal, really never had a chance to get to the net.
South showing a little bit more patience there, moving the ball around some. Unfortunately, sometimes they're coming down, getting one shot, then losing the ball out of bounds. And that's what happened there. North's got it back and going to push it up the field. can't come down and have one shot and give up the ball. You got to have somebody behind the goal to back up. You got to work the ball around. You got to be patient.
This is Gabe Brown. Gives the ball up to his defenseman. He continues upfield. Now the goal is wide open. If only they could get it back. They cannot. South can't. Chris Van Dyke looking for help. Van Dyke in front. Watch out. There's an easy goal. Boy, Brock Riffle from Van Dyke. And how easy can they make it look?
Oh, Van Dyke, kid out of Vermont, Essex Junction, Vermont, just ran right down the field. Did a good job feeding the ball inside. You see him here with the ball. Comes down, dumps it off. The attackman follows it inside. Nice little left-handed shot. Not much the goalie can do again.
Good looking play in the North. If you notice, most of their shots and goals, they look relatively easy. And the South continues to labor to try to get the good shots. They're not getting the cohesive offense, and against a much tougher defense. The North defense has been very difficult to beat.
Well, the North's playing defense the way he should. They're playing from the inside out. They're starting back in the crease area and making sure they don't give up anything inside, any easy shots, relying on the goalie to stop the ball from outside, while the South's letting players get underneath them and sort of spread out too much, stretched out on the field, and making it hard to.
4 minutes to go in the first half. Gabe Brown brings the ball up for the North, and they are so comfortably in the lead. They may not come back for the second half. 15-4. Scholastic All-Star game on the Deuce. These kids you might end up seeing in the Major Indoor Lacrosse League someday, and you've seen that coverage here on the Deuce this year. Great stick check. Aaron Kelly, Robinson high, and he pushes it upfield. Now they got to get something running. Mike Harris. Harris looks for help, finds it. Scott Regina. Oh, watch out. They can get a shot in close. Good shot, finally. Alex Mast. Well done. That was a nice transition play for the South. They got a good goal, a good shot at least, on Gabe Brown. Didn't have much of an angle, but Gabe Brown makes the big save. The score stays 15-4. It's been all defense and a great offense. They got the full picture on the team from the North. I'll be back with our halftime show in just a minute.
Lacrosse! Because Lacrosse Magazine is a source for men's and women's lacrosse.
Because I still love the game so much.
Because every coach should be a member.
They make things happen.
This is awesome, man. Look at that check.
Here comes the South. What adjustments might they make? All-Star team has had 2 short meetings to get something going together. The North has started their success from the defensive end of the field. I think that's where the South will have to get theirs started as well. Now they control their offense. Mike Allen, number 12. Haven't seen Allen much. Oh, here he comes in with a shot and a beautiful check from behind by Brandon Doyle, number 25.
Well, the North defense just packing it in real tight, making it tough for the South to slip inside and get any easy shots. So that's a smart way to play.
Rain continues to fall here, and that turf, even though it's not going to get muddy, it tends to get a little bit slick.
It was just a good cut by Gilman School's Mark Corns. And Mark had a goal earlier in the game. He slipped inside, just a little bit wide of the mark with his shot. But South's putting some pressure on.
And the South tries to feed it inside. That was Matt Treese. Tried to feed inside to David Marks and company. The ball goes through them, out of bounds, backed up by the North. All those little things, Mitch, that you've got to do, like backing up, throwing your passes on your shots, they just haven't done it for the South.
That was an excellent cut by the South player, but just couldn't handle the ball. And part of the reason is the North is just packing it in on defense and not giving up those easy shots that the South has done.
All right, now here comes the North racing upfield. Henry Oakey. Oakey, just a good-sized kid with a lot of speed.
Showed some real good speed there, moving down the middle of the field.
Robert Hawkinson from Lakeside High School in Washington.
Lakeside High School, just outside of Seattle, Washington. Lakeside with the state champs, and there's a kid going from Seattle, Washington, all the way to upstate New York for his collegiate career, going to Hamilton College in northern New York.
So the South now tries to move the ball up. The North pressing. And the ball back down the field. That's what they wanted. Carl Zeller couldn't do it. He picks it up again. Zeller had it checked out once. Finds teammate Steve Johnson. Johnson in trouble. So the North contests everything. Far side of David Marks. Marks can't pick it up cleanly. And look at that. 2 blue jerseys ramming that thing right back down the throat. Out of the goal.
Katalakis out of the goal there, doing a good job. Moving it up himself. See if he goes into the shot.
Full transition run for Katalakis.
North doing a good job of controlling it here to give Katalakis a chance.
Push inside to Casey Powell. Casey Powell has 2 goals already. That'll be his 3rd hat trick for him. He'll lead all scorers. This guy can go one-on-one so beautifully, but what a cut that was to get himself in position to score.
But he makes an excellent cut here across the face of the goal and puts it in backhanded. It's again showing why he scored more than 500 points in his high school career. That's just a phenomenal number of points for a player to score.
Well, Syracuse lacrosse is a run-and-gun style, and Casey Powell is going to fit in that thing beautifully. He'll fit right into that style of play.
Dave Allen on the sidelines there, watching his son Mike play. Dave used to be the coach at Gilman School here in Baltimore. He was an assistant at Loyola College, and his son Mike's going to Princeton next year.
Here comes Powell, the big gun. He's got the shot, and the bounce shot finds the net right under the pipe. Powell seems unstoppable. He's got such, explosive quickness and great size, and of course the stick work is evident. He can go behind the back, in front of the back, in front of his chest, wrap it around. Watch how he uses the stick like a Canadian player. 16-4 the score.
Well, I think here once again, what you're seeing here is just players that are fundamentally very sound. He doesn't pull up to shoot the ball. He keeps moving through his shot. The defensemen are just going right by these guys, and you said it before, Leaf, they're very active at the offensive end, and that's making it tough for the defense to do anything.
17-4. The offensive output is very impressive. We've talked about that. Well, just surprisingly, the other end of the field, the defensive ability to stop this great team from the South. The South has got nothing but all-stars on this team, and to shut them down like they have says a lot.
Yeah, the North defense has been the key because they keep the ball out of that end and keep working the ball down, giving them more offensive opportunities, and it's not surprising that you're getting a lot of goals scored, but it's surprising that it's so one-sided at this point.
Hanford gives the ball up. John Hess. Hess out front. This is Molman. Molman defended by Greg Mecca. Now behind the net to Damian Prescott. Prescott finds a player, but he's behind the goal. Can't really get a shot off, and that's Blumenthal. Blumenthal getting wrapped up, finally double-teamed. Damian Prescott. Ooh, off the stick, almost collected by Molman.
Good feed inside, just that's real tough to handle when you're cutting there and all that traffic, and a good look there.
Chris O'Connor brings it in and takes a shot right between the legs and scores. Tybal lets that one go in, but I'll tell you what, same old story. Replay of the same kind of activity. 1 or 2 men beaten out front. Nobody follows in, and the shot comes from right in the face of the goalie. They're well within range to make it a tough shot.
South trying to do everything with their sticks. They're not really playing good position there. There's no slide. North player drives through that one. Good bounce shot. Another goal for the North.
18-4, and we are only in the 3rd quarter. 9 minutes left. South finally picks up a face-off, and they cannot control it. Unbelievable. Trying to find David Marks all the way across the field, and Mecca throws the ball out of bounds.
Too many times they've been throwing the ball away. Unforced errors. Turnovers are just killing them.
North trying to clear the ball. This is Kazip. Kazip now gets the ball up the far side, and the Blue on the march with a huge lead, 18-4. All you do is sit back and watch it. That was a foul. They're going to let it go.
John Fay, number 16 for the North, did a very good job. Faced strong face dodge there, went right down the middle and
That was
took a
a
good
playoff
shot.
situation. Go ahead.
One of the things interesting, John Fay's from Canton High School, 10 miles from the Canadian border. So we've got kids from almost up to Canada and Florida, Austin, Texas, all over the place.
Well, it doesn't matter in this game anyway. It's a showcase of talent, and you're certainly seeing that. There's no question. A lot of great talent on this field. Let's see if we can get some offense out of the South, and everybody will be happy. 8 minutes left, third quarter. Rocket shot out front goes wide of goalie Tybel. And the score, 18-4. We're halfway through the third quarter. We'll be back with more from Homewood Field.
When is a stamp not just a stamp?
When it's a big one!
You'll want to keep our new World War II stamps for the long haul. They're at your post office or call for our free catalog. When is a stamp not just a stamp?
When it's true love. Mwah.
Make love last. New love stamps to have and to hold are now at your post office or call for our free catalog.
Receive up to 50% savings on all your water sports equipment in Bart's free water sports catalog. Skis, vests, wetsuits, gloves, ropes, and knee boards. Call 1-800-342-1700 for O'Brien, Kidder, Connolly, Joby, Body Glove, and other top brands. Call for your free Bart's water sports catalog. And get your friends so they can share in the savings too. Call now, 1-800-342-1700.
Why did the chicken cross the road? The Tour de France continues tonight at 11:30 on ESPN2. It's not for chickens.
Lacrosse is really growing in the Midwest. High school teams. We also play in a league with 11 teams from Tennessee. Spreading. All sizes can play.
Leading up the
To Brown University next year to play ice hockey. So he's participating in a little bit of both, but hockey's the main thing for him. You could see that good wrist shot as he came around the goal there from the left behind. Whew.
I'm sure that the boys he is really
just set the tone for the North. Getting ground balls, pushing the ball up the field, playing very smart, playing very determined lacrosse.
The South has had no goals in over 16 minutes. So the North, after a dominant first half, have continued that domination through most of the second half. Now they want to try to get a good job. The defense of the North. This is Michael Seaman working against the double team. Brady. This will start with Adam Bond from Florida.
The offense is waiting for one guy to do it.
Defense got back very quick. A big lead getting on that fast break started, but by the time we got to the end of that fast break, there was a lot of blue jerseys back there.
And they're doing a good job of working from the inside out. They're working from right in front of the crease there, things up, making it tough for anybody to get inside.
Trying to get a shot in close. They finally do get one. That was Adam Bond. Still third quarter action and a big lead by the Blue squad, but this is a showcase of talent. The score usually makes it a little more exciting than it is right now. Play is still
Called a push on.
this game is the score. Again, these guys are showing their best stuff against the best. Ago with a big hit. Kelly keeping things physical. I tell you, the sideline of the South just shaking their head.
They're always working on something.